Hi ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mongezi Mahlangu and today we are going to talk about digital scams. Now you're probably wondering and asking yourself, what are digital scams? Well, let me tell you. Digital scams are also known as internet scams and they continue to evolve in various ways. This term refers to someone using the internet services or software to take advantage of victims for financial gain. So what cybercriminals do, they contact their potential victims through personal or work email accounts, social networking sites, dating apps, or other methods in attempts to obtain financial or other valuable personal information. Many successful scams on the internet have similar endings. It's either the victim loses their own money or fails to receive funds that the cybercriminal promised. In most case scenarios, the victim might even lose their own identity. Now, before we get into everything, let us all understand how a criminal thinks. You may be wondering, why would someone choose to scam you? Well, the answer is not far-fetched. Scammers just want your money. Scammers scam and engage in fraudulent activities to deceive people, and the aim of their final target is always money. The sad truth is that they won't do anything to accomplish their mission. Until they get a hold of your money, they won't stop. For instance, you are offered a financial reward, such as a share of the amount for helping them access their trapped funds. The amount of money to be transferred and the payment that the scammer promises you is usually very large. They will claim that a bank, lawyer, government agency, or other organizations requires some fees to be paid before the money can be moved. The scammer will often ask you to pay the fee via a money transfer service. Okay, now let's get into it. There are different types of digital scams, which are phishing, vishing, ransomware, scareware, and tech support scams. With this table that you are seeing right now in front of you, it explains or outlines where an individual will most likely experience these types of digital scams. They could be on your mobile device, your desktop, or both your mobile device and your desktop. Let's look at our first type of digital scam that we are most likely to encounter, which is phishing. Phishing is an attack that attempts to steal all your money or your identity by getting you to reveal personal information such as credit card numbers, bank information, or passwords on websites that pretend to be legitimate. Fun fact: phishing is one of the many new computer-related terms that have found their way into the general lexicon over the past decade or so. Its PH spelling is influenced by an earlier word for an illicit act. Now you're probably wondering and asking yourself, how can I spot phishing? Well, let's get into it. Firstly, you check the full email address in the from field. You look for inconsistencies in links, addresses, and domains. Phishing emails often have email addresses that are different than the name on the email account. They may also use domain names that appear to be slightly off in some way. Be suspicious of emails that claim you must click, call, or open attachment immediately. Be wary of generic greetings and requests, and also look for typos. Also, you need to take note of the following. Learn to recognize the warning signs of a phishing attack. Boost your email security and use spam filters. Install antivirus software to protect against malware. Visit websites directly. Don't click on links in messages. Remove your contact information from data brokers. Activate call filters on your phone and use anti-phishing services. So most people have heard of phishing. Well, phishing is a different attack that falls under the general phishing umbrella and shares the same goals. Phishers use fraudulent phone numbers, voice alerting software, text messages, and social engineering to trick users into divulging sensitive information. Phishing generally uses voice to trick users. Smishing, yet another form of phishing that uses SMS text messages to trick users, is often used in tandem with voice calls depending on the attacker's methods. Phishing and phishing have the same goal, which is to obtain sensitive information and data from users that could be used in identity theft, monetary gain, or account takeover. The main difference between phishing and vishing is the medium used to target potential victims, whereas phishing is primarily an email-based attack and vishing uses voice, typically calls to a user's phone number. Now let's look at the tips that you can follow to protect yourself against vishing attacks. Firstly, use a caller ID app, but don't completely trust caller ID. Treat vishing scams as you would smishing scams. Don't trust any caller ID as it is very easy to be fake. Never trust anyone who creates urgency and convinces you to call them right back unless it is someone that you know and trust. Take a second, do some research and call on real numbers to make sure if your bank is calling you. So let's take a look at ransomware. So with ransomware, a cybercriminal normally infects your computer with malware called ransomware. For example, if they are successful with phishing scams, once installed, the cyber thief can encrypt your files and demand ransom payment, normally in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. One common misconception about ransomware attacks is that they only involve ransomware. For instance, the cybercriminal will say things like, "Pay me back to get your systems and data back." But these attacks have actually evolved into general extortion attacks. While ransom is still the main monetization angle, attackers are also stealing sensitive data which could be yours or your customers, and they threaten to disclose it or sell it on the dark web or on the internet. They normally do this by while holding onto it for later extortion attempts in the future. Let's look at how to avoid ransomware. Firstly, run anti-malware tools. Never click on unverified links. Scan emails for malware. Use firewalls and endpoint protection. Only download from trusted sites. Keep backups of important data. Use a VPN when using public Wi-Fi and use security software. Now let's take a look at scareware. Scareware is a form of malware which uses social engineering to cause shock, anxiety, or the perception of a threat in order to manipulate users into buying unwanted software. Scareware can come in a couple of forms, but possibly the most common of this internet scam is fake antivirus software. How it works: a pop-up alerts you of a virus that infected your device. It then offers to fix the infection with free antivirus software. This software is indeed fake and it is used to install malware that can steal your sensitive information. The picture that you see aside is normally what you would most likely see as a pop-up. Here are the tips of avoiding scareware. Avoid on clicking on ads appearing to know too much about your computer's issues, offering a free scan, or asking for immediate payment. Don't open emails with a suspicious subject from unknown senders. Keep your browsers updated to the latest version with all security patches in place. Use a pop-up blocker, and also never click on any advertisement pops up. So with tech support scams, scammers may call you directly over the phone and pretend to be representatives of a tech company. They might even spoof the caller ID so that it displays a legitimate support phone number from a trusted company. They'll probably ask you to install applications that give them remote access to your device. Using remote access, these experienced scammers can misinterpret normal systems messages as signs of problems. Or these fraudsters may use urgent pop-up messages or fake online ads to promote illegitimate software services and carry out tech support scams. These internet scams may say you have a serious problem with your computer and offer tech support services you don't need to resolve the issue. Once they have you hooked, they could try to install malware onto your device with the fake software they are offering. Let's look at what to do when tech support scams pop up. See a scary pop-up message? Avoid clicking on any prompts to sign up for a service or call a number. Even clicking on the X to close the window may inadvertently download malware to your computer. Instead, press Ctrl plus Shift plus Escape in Windows or Command plus Option plus Escape in Mac OS. to see which programs you have opened and fully close your web browser from here. Look out for spammy sponsored links. When you search online for tech support, be wary of sponsored ads at the top of the results list. Many of these links seem legitimate but lead to businesses that may scam consumers. Never give control of your computer to a third party unless you know it is a representative of a company or computer support team you have contacted. If you see an unfamiliar email, don't click the links. Scammers also use email to reach victims. The messages point consumers to scam websites that launch pop-up ads with fake warnings and phone numbers. This presentation brings us back to this table where it outlines or explains where would an individual most likely experience these types of internet scams or digital scams. Let's take a moment and look at this table. In conclusion, let's look at the optional software to install to avoid getting scammed. You can get the Avast free antivirus, AVG antivirus, Avira antivirus, Bitdefender antivirus edition, Kaspersky Security Cloud, Microsoft Windows Bitdefender, Sophos Home. So with most of these softwares that you can install, they normally come with a subscription fee that you have to pay monthly or yearly. What you can also do is do a little bit of research about these antivirus softwares that you can use to avoid getting scammed. Thank you very much. That is it from me to you.